So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna go over why I think Ram is the best HD truck of all time, especially for 2019 up until 2021. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into it. Now the very first thing we have to talk about is you have two Cummins motors, not one but two. Now if you get a 2500, you can only get the standard Cummins. I call this the baby Cummins. This has 850 pound-feet of torque, 370 horsepower, so it's not a baby, it's a big fat baby, and it tows quite a bit in the 1-ton trucks. So if you are looking to do some light towing and a lot of cruising in your truck, this is the engine you want to have. This has the 68 RFE, which has been refined for 2019. It's a lot smoother, and I think that this is perfect for someone who just wants to have a heavy-duty truck who does maybe 3 or 4 times a year of towing with it. And this brawny beast here has the high output Cummins. Now this thing is good for 1,000 pound-feet of torque, 400 horsepower. This is the big boy. It's made it to the Eisen transmission. I'm not a huge fan of the Eisen, but because I tow trailers, I'm a huge fan. If you're not looking to tow a trailer, that standard Cummins is the best way to go. Now this transmission is very jerky, but man, when you need to tow a trailer, this thing puts the power down perfectly. So that's number one. Let's get to number two. Staying on the same topic, I like the inline 6 design over the V8, and the reason why is because this is what semi trucks use. They use a inline 6 turbo diesel, and you have less moving parts. I love the fact that it's inline 6. I just feel like these are more reliable. I love the way they sound. They sound mean, and you just can't go wrong with less moving parts. I mean, that's just my opinion, but that's what I see in this thing. Other advantages of having an inline 6 design is you're going to have 7 main bearings supporting the crankshaft as opposed to having 5 in the V8 design. V8s also require balancing shafts, and inline 6s are more balanced. And lastly, any mechanic knows that if you have to pull the cylinder heads, you only have one up top because of the inline 6 design. On the V8 you have 2 on each side. Which one's going to be easier to work on? Now I gotta ask the question, what do you guys think about that last statement? Inline 6 is the best way to go. In the comment section, put your hate down there. I need to hear it. Number 3, rear suspension setup. Now the truck that you're looking at here has a high output motor, right? So check out the leaf springs back here. You have an overload leaf pack here. You have your main leaf pack. And when you get a high output truck, you get an additional leaf spring right here. Now if this truck just had a standard Cummins, you would not get that leaf below, but you would get the overload leaf springs that you see up top. Now here's the kicker. If you go to a single rear wheel truck, a single rear wheel truck will just have the main leaf pack without the overload leaf spring. So you're not going to see these leaves up top here. You're only going to see these main leaves here. And I think that it has maybe 4 as opposed to 5 that you see. This has 3, this has 5, it may have 4. And I'll clarify that here in the video. And here's an example of the single rear wheel leaf springs in the rear. So you do have 4 leaf springs. We're not done yet though. If you look at the 3/4 ton side of things, you're gonna have a 5-link coil suspension. Now this is mainly geared towards light towing, but you get a good ride out of this truck. So they give you a coil sprung suspension on the 3/4 ton trucks. Again, they do so much R&D to make sure their trucks ride good and tow good. I mean, no other manufacturer does this. They typically only have 2 suspension setups. That's it. And keep in mind, we have a Power Wagon on the Ram side. So this suspension is different too because this has a 2-inch lift. Staying on the same topic that we were just on, air suspension. Now I just showed you, Ram goes to the extreme to build you a different suspension for each truck, just for the leaf pack in the rear. That's crazy to me, guys. No other manufacturer does that. And on top of that, they give you an air suspension setup. Now this truck here does have the air suspension. You can see the leaf packs here. It has 4 leaf packs. This is the exact same leaf pack that you get on the single rear wheel truck. So you have different suspension options, and you have an air suspension. So you can see the airbag right there, And so that just goes to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the benefit of this air suspension here. Hopefully the key's inside of here. It is. All right, so if you have air suspension, you see where it says alternate trailer height? When you go to hit the button, you can lower the truck down. And what that does for you is it helps making hooking up your trailer a lot easier. So if I push the button again, lowering to support due to payload, so it won't allow me to do it. So you may not be able to see it. What I may have to do is I may have to go through the system here. Let me show you what I have to do. Go to settings, and then we have to go to suspension right here. And if we put it in transport mode, that should drop it down. So what I was trying to show you was that you can lower the bed by pushing a button on the screen. And unfortunately this time around I wasn't able to get it to work, but next time I do a review I'll be sure to show this system a little bit better. But this is beneficial to getting inside the bed. It lowers it down for you and hooking up your trailer. And so that proves my point why I say that Ram is built to tow heavy, and they really do pay attention to detail by just adding so many different designs. They don't have to do this, but they choose to really complicate their trucks to make them better trucks. They're better working trucks. And we haven't even talked about the cab and chassis trucks, because their suspension packs are different in the rear too. So there's so many different things that they spend money on to make these trucks the best towing trucks of all time. That's the best truck, guys. Number 5, cab configuration. So you guys know you do have a crew cab and you do have a mega cab. So this is the biggest cab in the market. No other manufacturer offers this cab configuration. Now what does this do for you? Let me show you. This gives you the option to recline the seats. They're actually in a reclined seat position now. And when you go to drop the seats down, you have storage galore. I mean, you have so much floor space, and you have storage behind the seats, and you have storage under the seat. So you have so much space inside these trucks that it's just insanity. Let me show you this dually mega cab here. This one, I believe I have the seats down in right now. To give you an idea, check out the floor surface that you have with that seat down. Both seats go down, and I mean, look at how much space you have. You can have 2 people sleep back here pretty comfortably. My wife and I could definitely sleep back here comfortably, I know for sure. So that's why Ram is just number 1 in my books. Number 6, guys, Power Wagon. This is the only purpose-built heavy-duty truck that you can go off-road with. This is not a package, this is a trim. So you cannot add this to a diesel, because this truck was purposely built to go off-road. It has a 2-inch lift, as I mentioned. It has 33-inch tires for wheel articulation. It has a mechanical shifter for 4-wheel drive, front sway bar disconnect, and you can lock the front and rear differentials. You have a winch weighted for 12,000 pounds, and they use a synthetic cable to make it lightweight, which was new for 2019. And you have Bilstein shocks. And keep in mind, this truck can still tow 10,000 pounds, and boy does it look good doing it. I love the front bumper and grille on this truck too. Really just sets it off. Last but certainly not least, interior design. When you step into a Ram truck, you're stepping into one of the best interiors of 2019 and 2020. I think that this truck actually won an award from an editor saying that this was the best interior design of all cars. And this is just a lower trim level. This is a Laramie. You have a Longhorn and you have a Limited that has real wood, real leather seating, and just a beautiful design. The speaker surrounds, I mean, everything about that truck is just amazing. But that's really it, guys. I mean, I really do believe, because of the extraordinary measures that Ram takes to build their trucks, I mean, just showing you the suspension today, that's crazy. Like, there's so many different designs. Like, Ford and Chevy use the same designs. Even on the F450s, they have the same design on the suspension as the F350s, as the single rear wheel trucks. So when you're buying a Ram truck, you're buying a truck that was purposely built to tow heavy. the Cummins motor. You hear it all the time. That engine just loves to work. The Eisen transmission, it does not like to play. It loves to work. If you're buying that truck, you better be towing a trailer. But I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm almost at 10K. I don't know when I'm going to post this video. I might have already been there, but I don't know. We'll see. But nevertheless, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the things I said in this video. I'm not perfect. These are things that I like, these things that I see, and why I believe that Ram is the best truck of all time. See you in the next video.